What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to more C4. Just got in from outside. It's flurrying out. The season, the setting, the backdrop, incredible. Got that Ravens pack done and dusted. So if I'm a little bit out to outer space, that's what's going on. But welcome back to more C4, where we react to all things Philadelphia Eagles with an asterisk, as long as it's not a Sunday night game where the game's over at 1 a.m. And I'm going to be up at 6 in the morning with two kids. That video's not happening. But I was ready for this one. This game was circled. 3 games were circled on the schedule this year. One was the Bucks, the avenged the playoff loss, but then when Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown were out, that game literally became like, whatever. That game's garbage. Congrats on the win. Almost forfeit that. Don't get anyone hurt. Game 2 was the Commanders, because all the hype went around the Commanders. I knew quietly, because I said in my grades video, they're down bad, right? Dan Snyder, let the Commanders enjoy this and know silently that we are easily the better team. We're going to smash them. We end up smashing them. And they had a post-Eagles hangover where they were garbage for the next couple weeks. Third game circled on said schedule, Baltimore Ravens, because this is going to be where we figure out if we're legit or not. Philly has looked great. Our rankings have looked great. We've beat the teams we're expected to beat, but haven't really beat like a who's who. We beat some, Saints are scrappy. Bengals are scrappy. Commanders, obviously. Rams, right? Like decent teams. Hasn't been all cupcake. But like this is the one where it's like, all right, you're going against a team that probably third best team. Top 5 team in the NFL. Third best team in the AFC. Debatably. Baltimore, Buffalo, probably in that same bubble. Kansas City's there. And it took it to them, man. Like it was a competitive game. Back and forth. Philly was horrific in the first and third quarters. First quarter, game starts. 13-yard Saquon Barkley run. Feat the MVP. Awesome. What happened after that? Same goddamn thing that's happening in every game where Philly's opening game script. They don't even practice it. After you go 13 yards Saquon Barkley, what do? Like Paris Campbell screen pass. Will Shipley screen pass. Something to Britton Covey. Are you kidding me? We're down to Devontae Smith. You have A.J. Brown, Dallas Goddard, Saquon Barkley. That's who gets the ball. Right? No. What we worked on all week, not getting the ball, actually. That's what we worked on. So, that compiled with some other bad drives. Game started crap. Third quarter, got bailed out by a couple shanks by Justin Tucker. But ultimately, pretty crap. But time and time again, the crap stalls, crap scripts. Like, I'm always just going to pile the offensive struggles on Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni owes Vic Fangio like half his salary. The amount of times Vic Fangio's defense has consistently balanced out the ebbs and flows of the game and the inconsistencies from our offense is incredible. And that is the mantra of some of these teams. Sometimes your defense needs to pull through. Sometimes your offense has to carry the load. But it does feel like more often than not, it is our defense this season that is getting us to the point that we need to be really considered the favorites. Maybe the favorites in the entirety of the NFL. I think the favorites in the NFC. Now, if you're a Detroit Lion fan, I'm going to let you have it. Very much like the Commanders. I'm not going to be arrogantly robust to saying, Detroit, you're overrated. You're not that good. You're not bad at all. But you got Jared Goff as your quarterback. I think if we play each other, I think we play each other in Philly. I think we play each other in Detroit. I'm putting a lot of money on the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'll also say, if you had Aiden Hutchinson, I might feel a little bit different. But you're down your guy. I'm not really scared about that Detroit Lion defense. I'm not really scared about Jared Goff. But that's all I'm going to say. I don't need to... Yeah, I enjoy it, Lion fans. You guys have been bad since I've watched football. Enjoy your success. You watch it. You have an exciting brand, very similar style to Philadelphia. But I think with how we have our defense playing and the fact that we have the best player of the entire football world on our offense in Saquon Barkley, I think you got to give it to the Eagles, man, for the one. We got Detroit just barely beat. Who are they playing on Thanksgiving, right? Shouldn't have won. They literally only beat Chicago because their coach literally got fired off of malpractice. Whereas we come out, it's like, oh, we kind of control and take down the number 1 offense in the NFL. But it's an interesting debate, and hopefully both teams, kind of hold up their end of the bargain. Hopefully Philly doesn't run into Tampa Bay somehow in the playoffs, because that's never ideal. And that can match, because that's going to be an all-time NFC Championship game if that can happen. But from this game, from this performance, Saquon Barkley, the Philadelphia defense, so freaking good. The Cooper DeJean tackle, open space on Derrick Henry, iconic. Maybe not as iconic as Sheldon Brown lighting up Reggie Bush, but I think adjusting for the league safety standards. That's about as close as you're going to get for a unreal, unbelievable, huge moment for the Philadelphia Eagles. So now let's get into a little bit of player grades here. For Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts went 11 of 19, 118 yards, had a touchdown, 30 yards, and a tush-push score. You know, I thought Jalen looked not ideal in the first quarter. Second quarter was just kind of an offensive stuttering thing. I made a tweet that like Jalen Hurts looks like that Chrysler 300 when you got the Phantom on the other sideline. Ultimately, more of a compliment to Lamar Jackson because hey, the Chrysler 300 is a nice vehicle. Jalen Hurts is probably like a Chrysler 300 with, $15,000, $20,000 worth of mods on it, and Lamar's always going to be Phantom. But like, let's be honest, is Jalen Hurts ever going to be regarded as the top quarterback in football? No. Jalen Hurts is always going to be better than a game manager because of his scrambling ability. You can't be a game manager and also have and be a part of the most unstoppable play in football. But, like, I think at best Jalen Hurts is probably, 4. I think 4, it's always going to be some level of, like, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. But I think Hurts, on his day, could be, like, regarded as top 5 quarterback in the league. But, again, Christ 300, nice and mods on it. But I don't know if he's ever going to be that S-tier guy. And we saw, especially in the first half, they're just different levels of players. Lamar Jackson can make anything happen on any given play and completely wreck a defense. Whereas you saw Jalen Hurts miss Devontae Smith. We were missing the perfect environment around Jalen Hurts. But ultimately, when this game is done, like you can, you look at the good and the bad from the second and fourth quarter. Jalen Hurts did exactly what he needed to do. Really bad first and third quarter. Kind of come out of it being like he did what he needed to do down Devontae Smith. And hopefully we get Devontae Smith healthy, even though next week is Carolina. Carolina's scrappy, and you want to be full strength there. You want to be flexing your muscles a little bit. You want to be setting the tone. Because you see Detroit beat the brakes of some teams. It would be nice for Philadelphia to get a couple of those wins stacked on our record here a little bit. But I think ultimately for Jalen Hurts, I give him a B. Did what he needed to do. Saquon Barkley, that is the MVP. We got Josh Allen kicking off here in a little bit. I think it's between them two right now. If I'm rating my top 3, I'll go 4 just because Derrick Henry's here today. I'd go Saquon 1, Josh Allen 2, Lamar 3, Derrick Henry 4 as it stands. And I just think, Josh Allen statistically, unless he goes nuclear against like San Fran tonight, which it's going to be tough, even San Francisco not being particularly great this season. But Saquon's going to go for probably 2,000. We got some easy games coming up. It's biased. I'm always going to be biased. There's always going to be people that if you disagree, you're going to go, oh, he's just an Eagles fan. In my opinion, he's the best football player in the league this season. And 100 yards, touchdown, going head-to-head with Derrick Henry. One had a huge touchdown run to seal the game off for their team. One got blown up by a white corner on a gotta-have-it third down. A+ Saquon Barkley. Look at the receivers. Down Devontae Smith. It's never easy. He's an awesome player. But, A.J. Brown did the thing. 5 catches, 66 yards, especially when the offense got in the rhythm. A lot of those were chain movers. Dallas Goedert was nice. He did pick up an injury, so kind of got to see what's going on there. We do like Calcaterra. I think he can definitely step in, but you don't want to be missing Dallas Goedert and, say, Devontae Smith at the same time. Man, oh man, would it be awesome, though, like when Devontae's missed some time or A.J. Brown's missed some time for Jahan Dotson to step up. And that I really, it's not fair to kind of close the book on Jahan Dotson. Kind of came in late. Jalen Hurts is a huge confidence, repertoire, quarterback-receiver relationship thing. And Jahan clearly hasn't earned that yet, but maybe another offseason. I'm definitely expecting bigger things for Jahan Dotson next season. But, right now, not necessarily getting what we need to, especially when we're down guys, and you really would like him to see him elevate his game. But I think ultimately receivers, I'd give them a B, pretty much in line overall with the passing game. Defense, A+. Outstanding effort. This is the number 1 offense in the NFL in Baltimore, and they did not really do a whole lot. Had a real nice Mark Andrews grab. I thought Reed Blankenship probably had his worst game all year. Was kind of getting bullied a little bit by Mark Andrews. He also let the game due to concussion, so that kind of sucks. I'd love to see the Canadian Sidney Brown get on the field, even though Vic Fangio seems to be liking McCollum, who was awesome in the preseason. So, that's not going to be a hill I die on there a little bit, but it does look like Reed's probably going to miss a little bit of time. But look at the defense. Quinyon Mitchell, Man, he almost had another pick. Unbelievable coverage on the crosser by Zay Flowers. Like, pretty much outran him, beat him to the football. He's not going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year because he doesn't have the picks, but it's one of those ones, like, doesn't really matter. We know who. It's like Jalen Carter. You put any PFF nerd that wants, and I'm pretty sure he grades off the church of PFF. Like, Jalen Carter is the best defensive tackle in football. There's others that are in, right? Chris Jones, Vita Vea, Dexter Lawrence. Sure, they got the sacks. But if you are grading the best D tackle, like if you're building your team around, this would be the discussion. If you're building your team around a defensive tackle, you say you have to take a D tackle with this first hypothetical fantasy build. Jalen Carter is going first every single time. That's just the reality. He is absolutely unstoppable. And I think the biggest thing, too, for Jalen Carter, what do you have? 3 TFLs and a sack here today. His jersey is like, it always looks like it's shredded. He gets held every play. I don't know. Jalen Carter and Milton Williams need to go to acting classes. They got to be able to sell these holds a little bit. There is at least 5 holds a game on Jalen Carter. And I guess now we're starting to feel like what the Rams fans felt like with Aaron Donald getting held every play for 9 years, 10 years, however long it was. Absolutely insane. But he is a game wrecker. Jalix Hunt made a couple plays. I mean, he's a guy that has to step up with Brandon Graham's injury. Looked awesome in the preseason games. Glad he's getting an opportunity. I'm glad that we gave him, because we just signed the veteran in Charles Harris, and it could have been easier, safer thing to throw the veteran out there. But I think Hunt, with his athletic profile, yeah, he's a project. Get him on the field, man. I'll take a couple growing pains here or there, because he has outstanding pursuit in the athleticism for a game like this when you got to contain maybe Zay Flowers, Justice Hill, some speed guys on the outside, Lamar Jackson. Like, that's a game that he can thrive. Jordan Davis did his job against the run, which was awesome. Isaiah Rodgers had a couple nice plays. Josh Sweat continues to be awesome. Nolan Smith, awesome that he's putting it all together. That is what we need to see from this pass rush, because our pass rush going in the future, we don't know what BG is going to do. Hopefully he comes back. Josh Sweat's in a contract year. Need some of these young pass rushers to step up, and that is exactly what we're getting out of Nolan Smith with another sack here today. Obviously, Bond and Dean are incredible. Why are we waiting so long to get Zach? Let's be honest. We got to face reality, look in the mirror. The longer we don't go with extending Zach Bond, the more likely we're not gonna pay him. There's no way we can afford him, kind of deal, which sucks. But until that dream happens, until he goes in April or whenever free agency opens and he's not officially on this team, that optimism, it gotta stay there. It's gotta be the same energy we had trying to bring back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for Zach Bond and Cooper DeJean. Iconic play. Tackling Derrick Henry out in space. He was awesome today in coverage. Didn't really give a whole lot to Zay Flowers, which is a tough cover. This is a Super Bowl defense. And I think if the offense can get healthy, the offense can figure out the slow starts, we have the defense to go to a Super Bowl and to win a Super Bowl. We have a defense that can shut down a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, a Patrick Mahomes, a Jared Goff. We got that. If the offense can figure it out, sky's the limit for this team. A-plus performance. If I'm giving out a game ball today, Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter gets it offense. Saquon's already got enough. Jalen Carter gets it. Love to hear what you guys think about this victory. Huge for the Philadelphia Eagles. Carolina next week. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a track game. Take them seriously. Beat the brakes off them. But that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, with your boy C4. Peace out. Love ya. Have a good one. Go Birds!